Alright, well we had a pretty good night gigging last night. We're going to fix to clean the crabs and boil them. And then we'll wait for them to cool off, pick them, and then we'll stuff a flounder with them. So, crab. I'll show you how we clean crabs. I'm going to clean one, and then I'm not going to video how we clean
this guy's going to make good claw meat.
Alright, this is a big one. So this is one of the crabs we cleaned last night. I'm going to do it over a bucket so we don't have a mess all over the place. First do, you're just going to pop the shell off the back.
That's disgusting.
Take the gills out, take the guts out, and then break off the jaw. And that's a clean crab. He's ready to get thrown in the pot. Generally speaking, you would cook them whole, but we do them this way because they're gigged. They get sand and mud sometimes in here, and we'll take them, we'll spray them out with a water hose real good before we cook them. It's cleaning a crab. Just getting the guts out of it, getting the mud off of them, or any sand that's in them. And wash them out real good. Get them with a water hose. Alright, ready? The water's coming to a good rolling boil here. This is just water with Pro-Bowl. We're going to drop these guys in there and let it come back up to a good rolling boil. We're going to boil them for about 7 minutes. And it'll be done. These guys have been in there for about 7 minutes. They're done. The other way you tell they're done is if you look at them, they're real red. Claws are all red. So we're going to let these cool off. We're going to pick them and get ready to make our crab meat stuffing for our flounders. See y'all then. I'll try to find a couple of decent crabs to clean. Alright, well this is cleaning crabs 101. This is the way I do it. It's probably not the best way to do it. I'm sure someone out there's got a better way of doing it. But these are cooked, they're cooled off now. And break them in half. And then you just want to get all the meat out of all the cavities. And generally speaking, we'll pick all the white meat out, which is going to be the meat out of here. Throw all the claws back in the bowl here, bin, whatever you can call it, and then we go back and do all the claws later. But if you break the back leg and then turn it, it usually comes out just one big old chunk of meat right there for the back swimming leg. And then on this, I usually break it, smash it in half, and peel the top half off. And then you can grab these legs and turn them out, and the meat should come out with them. Sometimes it doesn't, you have to pull the meat out, but for the most part it'll come out like that. You just take the meat off the top. This is what we're going to make our crab meat stuffing out of, our crab meat. This is what we're going to stuff our flounder with. And this is the top half. It's a little more tricky to get the meat out of there. I usually just kind of pick and pick and pick until I get all the meat out of there. And try to get as little shell in there as you can, because you don't want to be eating a bunch of shell and having to spit it out. It's like eating a fish with bones in it. Hey, hey, hey. Watch your arms, watch your arms. That's cleaning crab 101. Try a little guy. Pull it out like that. Get the whole piece. Take this out. And that's your crab finger. Take these and just saute them up in garlic and butter. Eat them just like that as an appetizer. And then you got the other half. Get the shell good and cracked off of it. And a nice big piece of meat for the flounder. It ought to be delicious. I don't know if you can or not. Alright. So we're going to do the stuffed flounder. I'm going to show you how we get the flounder prepared to get stuffed. What I use is a curry comb. It's just a horse brush. It's probably about the best scaling mechanism I've ever found to use. There's all kinds of fish scalers out there. There's all kinds of spoons or whatever you want to use. To me, there's nothing that works better than this. It's just a curry comb or horse brush. What you want to do, you just got to scale it really, really good. Make sure you get all the scales off the fish. Because you don't want to have a mouthful of scales. There is going to be a little bit of blood in this, so if you're squeamish, if blood bothers you, I'm sorry. But we're cleaning the fish. Then we're going to have to cut his head off. So we can get all the scales off. Both our fish. We're going to do more than two, but for now, we're just going to prepare two. We got our crab meat picked. We're going to saute them with some onions, some breadcrumbs in it, lots of butter, garlic, a little bit of cheese. And these are going to be good. Alright. Hey, grab the water hose real quick. I'm going to give them a good rinse down. I don't want hot water all over my fish and wait for it to get cold. Alright. Alright. So what we're going to do, get all the scales off real good. Cut the head off. Take the guts out. And then if you look, straight down the flounder's back, he's got a line. You got the same one on the bottom. You see it a little bit better on the bottom. You're going to go straight down that line. And then you're going to let your knife go down to the backbone. And you're just going to go down the backbone out to the edge of the fins. And I like mine really stuffed, so I do a little cut right there to open it up even more. We got a bunch of crabs, so we got a bunch of crab meat. We're going to stuff these guys with. Just like that. We got a nice big packet in here. Stuff full of crab meat. Same thing on this one. Straight down that line. Right down the back. Almost about like filleting them. Depending on how you fillet your fish, your flounder. That's it right there. These guys are ready to stuff. We can get our mess cleaned up, go inside, get them stuffed and put in the oven. Actually, we're going to clean some more. Then we're going to go inside and get them stuffed and put in the oven. See y'all guys. Alright. So now we're going to make our stuffing. We're going to make it pretty simple. We ended up with a whole bunch of crab meat. We're going to do onions, bell peppers, a little bit of garlic, some mozzarella and Parmesan cheese. We mashed up some Ritz cracker crumbs. We're going to throw the crab meat in there, and we're going to use that to stuff our flounder with. We got a little bit of butter here to saute all of it with. So we're just going to chop it all up. Probably going to use about half an onion. I don't think we need the whole thing. Throw the rest of this away. We use about a little bit more than half an onion. Just kind of coarsely chop it up.
Okay.
Wait for our skillet to get nice and hot. Do a little bit more right now. Kind of rough chop them. Try not to cut your fingers off. And we're going to put this, a little bit of cheese, some garlic, some onion, butter, Ritz crackers. It sounds like my oven's preheated. Stuff the flounder. Be good to go.
What'd you preheat the oven at?
We did 375 on the oven. We're going to probably bake them for about 25 to 30 minutes, something like that. Throw our bell peppers in there first. Let them get cooked. We're going to add a little bit of seasoning to it. Flavor. We got Tony Chachere's, because who doesn't love Tony Chachere's? Let that cook for a little bit, and we'll add our onions.
Okay.
Alright, bell peppers getting a little tender. Throw some onion in there. A little bit of garlic.
And by little, he means a lot.
And by little, I mean a lot. Put a little olive oil. Let that cook. Alright. Everything's getting nice and tender. And that's cooked probably about 3 or 4 minutes. Now we're going to start throwing our crab meat in there. And then we're going to put cheese. And we're going to save some of this crab meat. We're going to make crab cakes. I don't think that's going to be on video. But that should be more than enough crab meat to stuff the flounder with. So got some shell in it. Get that shell out of there. Here's the crab meat. We're going to throw some cheese. Cracker crumbs, and that's what's going to be our stuffing for our flounder.
What kind of cheese is that?
We're doing Parmesan and mozzarella cheese. And breadcrumbs. Very, very simple to do, very easy. and absolutely delicious. Some mozzarella. I like cheese. We're just going to mix this up real good. We don't want to get the cheese overly melted and the crab meat overly hot because it still have to bake in the oven. And these are Ritz cracker crumbs. Mix that all up real good. Stuff our flounder. It's going to be delicious. Looking good. Probably going to add just a little bit of seasoning and a little bit of lemon. Good right there. Over our flounder. We have our oven preheated. Get ready to put this in there. I like a lot of stuffing in my flounder. Of course, I like crab meat too, so there's that. Put that like that. Get them stuffed nice and full. And then we're going to put some more butter right on top of this. Where's the butter? So we're going to put a little bit of butter right on top of this. So it cooks down in there.
And by a little, he means a lot.
By a little, I mean a lot. Some Tonys. Squeeze a couple lemons over the top. Try to keep the seeds out. Here's the lemon juice. Man, that looks delicious. And we're going to cook them, start out at probably about 22 minutes. And see if they're done. And check them after that. We'll let you know what it looks like when we're done. We're going to cover these up with foil. Punch a couple holes in the lid. We're going to bake them for about 22 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that. And then we're going to take the lids off of them to the top so they get kind of crispy for the remainder of the cook time. We got them all wrapped up. Go in the oven. Check them in about 20 minutes. Be ready to go. Good dinner. Alright guys, we cooked it for about 22 minutes with foil on and probably another additional 6 minutes with the foil off. About 28 minutes in at 375. I'm going to check them real quick, see if they're done, and we'll go from there. Generally speaking, when you cook fish, you just want to cook it until it flakes. And you see how that flakes apart? Pretty white and juicy. It's done. So these guys are done. So we did 22 minutes with foil over the top, another 6 minutes without foil over them, and that's it, they're done. So we're going to sit down and enjoy these. I hope y'all enjoyed our video. Y'all try this. It's absolutely delicious. And we'll see you guys next time. Adios.